It's time now for the Athlete of the Week, and it's presented by Diamond Point and Sauk Center here on Mid-Minnesota Sports. And with us today is a Melrose athlete. This is Cody Pundsack. Cody, if we could start out, tell us about your family. Who's in your family?
I have two brothers. One's name is Jake Pundsack, and he is in 10th grade. And I have another one named Drew Pundsack, and he is in 5th grade. And my two parents are Craig and Lisa Pundsack.
All right, real good. What other activities are you involved in school?
I'm in basketball and baseball.
After a play, Melrose has it at about the 21-yard line. Here's Pundsack again. Good hole. Boy, the Melrose offense is moving now. Good blocking up front. An 11-yard run for Pundsack and another Melrose first down. This drive started at the 10. It's out to the 43. Pundsack hops over one, bounces off another, and gets it close to the 50. And another run of about 5 yards for Cody Pundsack. He's number 20, a 175-pound senior at 6 feet tall. 3rd and 3 now for Melrose. And Pundsack gets the call. He's got the first down and more. Still on his feet. Good run. And he gets it down to the 27-yard line. Cody Pundsack running hard. Well, let's talk about the football season, which was just done. Is it fair for me to say to you that when the football season started for Melrose, that in the backfield that you were kind of rotating some guys around, and then it seemed as the season went on, you were kind of the main guy. Take us through that process. What was happening at that time at the start?
Absolutely. At the start, I don't think anyone really knew who was going to be the starting running back. I think we all just thought we were all going to get our equal reps, and we didn't think anyone was going to get the majority. And I guess as the season went on, I was lucky enough to get that opportunity.
Well, there's more than just luck. I mean, you have some pretty good skill. What did you kind of learn as the season went on? How did you become a better ball player then?
Well, the majority of my yards definitely came from my line. I got to give a lot of credit to them. They were one heck of a line. I couldn't ask for much better. And that's how I got my opportunities. They opened up big holes, and I did the easy job of running through them.
You know, who are some of those guys? Because you also went through some changes. You had some injuries that you had to deal with.
Yep.
Who are some of the fellas that all did that for you?
There was Noah Salzel, there was Tanner Roski, Adam Hellman, Will Stone, and then there was and then there was Brad, and then there was Bryce Nathy.
As I watch you run, too, it seemed you were learning as it was going along, too, to where, can you describe, let's say, for example, you get the ball, it's not a flat-out sprint, is it? You have to kind of wait and be patient. Take us through that process.
Okay, so actually last year I was completely a receiver. This is my first year ever playing running back, so it was a little tedious at first to learn what to do, but on certain plays, you're not supposed to just get it and just go full blazing right through the hole. Sometimes you have to wait for the hole to develop to gain the most amount of yards.
Did you find yourself getting better at that? Was it noticeable to you?
Towards the end of the season, I found it way easier than it was at the beginning to be patient enough to wait for those holes to open.
You know, too, you played very well defensively as the season went along. Is it fair to ask you, do you like offense or defense, or which one?
I actually prefer defense because kind of has to do with my dad. He played defense in college, so he knows a little bit more about defense and offense, so he teaches me up pretty good.
I imagine that you also have some relatives as you bring that up, and family and friends that maybe give you some good advice, maybe give you a little hard time at times. What is that like for you?
Well, most of the time when they're coaching me up, it's stuff that I didn't do, which is I think that's better for me they do compliment me on the good stuff I do, but I find it more beneficial to me when they coach me on the things I didn't do right.
How about some of the aspects, too, of playing defense? It seems that sometimes, how do you make a determination of you're going to go or you stay back or what your responsibilities are? How do you handle that?
Okay, so at the beginning of the year, I was only a safety, but as we scouted teams, they put me down at linebacker more towards the end of the year. I was playing more linebacker than I was safety. And then usually if there was a blitz called, then I would switch with one of the linebackers so I wouldn't have to blitz because I'm pretty small for a linebacker. So I wouldn't have to. I would blitz sometimes, but most of the time I would switch with someone else.
It seems that as I think back on the football season, and maybe I could ask you to do this, the same thing too, is think back. It started out with Sock Center. It's always fun to play Sock Center, right?
Yep,
All right.
absolutely.
How did that night go for you?
At halftime, they were actually beating us, so we didn't even know at the time that we were a second half team, but you always have to come in strong in the second half and trust your teammates. And
you certainly showed that against Howard Lake. How about Howard Lake Waverly? That was an exciting finish. What was that game like?
They had a really good running back that one of our players took out pretty early, which definitely helped a lot. And it was just a defensive game until the fourth quarter, and they ended up having the ball last, which looked like it was a huge advantage for them. And then we had a big-time goal line stop at the end.
Mm-hmm. That was an exciting win, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Maybe even more exciting, though, was the game against Maple Lake. Here it is, homecoming. You have to win this ball game. This is a team that has played pretty well. They beat Piers during the season. What did you think about that game going in, first of all?
Well, it really helped that they lost the game before to Holding Ford, so we knew, okay, we actually have a chance, and we're going to give them a run for their money. And in the first half, we moved the ball. We just couldn't finish. And in the second half, it really showed that we could move the ball on them, and we actually did finish. And we had 2 90-plus yard drives in one half, which is pretty crazy for a high school team to do with no penalties or anything and still punching it in.
You know, as the season went along then, too, you play against some pretty good teams out there. How do some of these games go to where if you do take a loss, what do you take away from that? You have to recognize the fact that this other team is pretty good, too. Teams like Piers, Eden Valley Watkins, or some of those teams. What do you think about those games?
Those games, a lot of the time we just look at the stuff we could have done better, and then we take that and practice as hard as we can, and then we got to go into the next game with the mindset that we're going to win.
I will say then, too, the last game for you against Newland and Spicer, you were all over the field, especially the intercepted pass there at the end. Before we talk about that, what was it like playing in that rain and the mud for that night?
Well, I'm just glad I had at least one game in my career that I got to play in something like that, because, I mean, every football player better hope they get a chance to play in a field like that, because it's way different. I like it way better.
And the quarterback under center is going to roll out. He's looking to throw back, and here's a man wide open, and he's got the catch. He's going down to the 20-yard line to the 10, and a stiff arm, and he's going to be into the end zone maybe. It is what? They haven't signaled yet. Is he out of bounds or in? Pundsack made the catch out of the backfield. They mark him out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. 8:40 to go, first half. Melrose to the line of scrimmage now. First and goal from the 2-yard line for the Dutchman. Trailing 7-0. They'll hand it off to Pundsack. Hit at the line. Second effort. He's in. Melrose has scored a touchdown by Cody Pundsack, a 2-yard run. So the ball is up in the air. You're going back. What happened?
Edelman, their quarterback, was flushed out by one of our defensive ends or tackles, Nicky LeClaire, and which helped a lot because otherwise he would have gotten a much more clean pass off. And they were doing a flood route, and since the conditions were so bad, he probably didn't get as good of a throw as he wanted. So I was in a pretty good position to catch it, but I was running backwards. And I remember against Rockford, I had an interception, but I outran all my blockers, so I got tackled right away. So I remember, okay, I got to wait for my blockers a little bit, see if anything developed. And there's a little hole right next to our sideline. And then, I mean, my excuse isn't that I was tired. I mean, Jackson Ness, their running back, was really fast, and he caught me.
Back to football now. Newland and Spicer has it at the Melrose 45-yard line. They lead 7-6. We're down to 53 seconds in the half. Out of the eye, the quarterback is going to throw. Edelman steps up, being flushed out, rolling off to the right side, throws on the run, throwing deep down the middle. It is going to be intercepted by Cody Pundsack. Back he comes the other way, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35. He's still on his feet, and there he goes. They're chasing him from behind, and they will catch him now at the 10-yard line. But Cody Pundsack intercepts the ball all the way down to the 10-yard line on the return. The Dutchmen have it, 1st and goal. Well, again, as you look back to this Melrose football season, how would you summarize everything? Playing with the guys that you grew up with here, and what do you think about the whole thing?
Well, it was a great group of guys. I couldn't ask for any better teammates. They were one heck of a crew. I would never take them for granted. I'm so thankful I have them, and the coaches were great. All the fans were very supportive. So was my family. It was just a wonderful experience. I'm glad I got the opportunity.
You know, there's one more aspect, almost a tradition for Melrose football, too, that I want to bring up with you. Say, like after Maple Lake, you win, you huddle up with the team, then you come over to the track. What goes on there? What are you guys thinking about? And as you look up in the stands then, and take us through all of that.
I actually moved here from Shakopee 2 years ago, so I actually don't know. We sang a song to the fans, and even though I haven't been here that long, it's still one of the greatest feelings. It's hard to describe, and it really makes everyone proud, and I'm glad we do it.
Mm-hmm. And then you end up with spelling out Dutchman, and
yep.
I can tell you guys are into it, aren't you?
Yeah, we love it. We really like it.
All right. Well, good luck for basketball, baseball coming up. What kind of plans do you have after high school? Any?
I want to play college football at D3 level, but I just got to see my options, and I'm thinking of doing anything with engineering right now.
All right. Well, good. We'll follow you, okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
That's Cody Pundsack, who is our Athlete of the Week, and is presented by Diamond Point in Sauk Center.
C-U-B-C-H-M-E-N